Welcome. This is Post Hump Day, also known as PHD. I'm Tommy DeSalt.
I'm Kellen King.
We're glad you're here.
Yeah, welcome to the new year.
We really are.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. We made it. 2023.
This year of our Lord. Sorry, I was putting in. Actually, let's just get into that. So I
Yeah.
put in a thing of nicotine.
Nicotine pouch.
Okay, it's not tobacco. I gave that up last year. That was my last year's resolution. And
Was it really?
yeah, it
Yeah.
was. Well, so it was something that I had done for a really long time, like dipping tobacco.
Yeah.
Never really smoked cigarettes or anything like that. But, it's the oral fixation, whatever. You make all the blowjob jokes you
Yeah, I
want,
was going to say it.
whatever. I just like stuff in my mouth, okay?
Yeah.
At all times.
We-
I really do. That's what it comes down to. And
You get bored, you're driving down the road, you're sitting around, you're
Yeah.
playing your games, you're doing all kinds of stuff. You just want something in your mouth.
there. Yeah, and it's just tough. So, a couple years ago, so, prior to last year's resolution, I messed up I tore my Achilles tendon, okay? And so it was right around that time that I was like, I was sitting around doing nothing. And so I was like, I don't know why, but what happened was Lulu was like, hey, if you give up that, I'll give up coffee. In which, to me, like, that's not 1-to-1. Like, coffee is not that big of a deal.
I think they've even said coffee is healthy.
Yeah. And she was just like trying to help me out. And I felt like
There
so
you go.
bad for her saying that I was like, no, I'm going to give it up. You don't need to give anything up.
Yeah.
So I never, I was going to give it up for the year. Like, I was going to start on January 1, but my surgery was like December 3rd or something. So, like, after she said that, I was like, we're starting early.
There you go.
Yeah. And so I've been going strong, but, and I did at the beginning, I did like nicotine lodgings. I did all, sunflower seeds. I tried everything to get off nicotine.
Yeah.
And it's tough. It's like hard to go cold turkey. I tried cold turkey for a while, but sitting there just, like I said, with a cast on my foot, it was really hard. And so this year I'm going to give up nicotine. Yes, I'm using it right now, but my plan is I'm going to wean off of it. Instead of doing what I try to do is cold turkey, that's like, does that work? I know you've had to give up stuff in the past. I mean, you have to with some certain things, but you think with nicotine, do you think that's a different animal?
No, I think you just have to quit. You have
What?
to. You have to want to quit.
All right. I do want to quit.
But you can wean off.
I've tried to do cold
I'm just
turkey.
not that kind of person. I
Yeah.
can't wean off. I gotta just cut the cord.
Yeah.
But yeah, I tell you, those things are addicting. I find myself
I tell you what.
wanting to. Yeah, because I was using the same. I've used a few different brands actually.
Yeah.
We
We won't say brand names
and then I
here
found one
because-
really good brand I liked, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was. I had to have surgery actually one time from dipping too much. My
Really?
gums receded too far, and
Yeah. Mine are that way.
so I try to keep it. But actually, my dentist, in case you guys were wondering, my dentist did tell me the pouches are not as bad
That's
as
good.
regular dip. But as long as you're moving it around,
Yeah. It used to be
uh,
way worse. Remember
yeah.
that?
Oh, yeah.
Fiberglass and all that.
yeah,
So
you
it can
get
cut into your bloodstream and all that quicker and just get you that buzz that you've been thinking about all day in English class.
get buzzing
Yeah.
around. Dude, do you remember? Yeah, I remember the first dip I ever put in.
Well, you want to talk about this, and then I want to talk about your New Year's
Yeah, we've
resolution.
talked about dip a lot. It's okay.
Yeah, no, we can talk about it.
I just remember the grizzly wintergreen and throwing up everywhere. I didn't think I was going to.
I got the spins, but I never threw up.
Dude, I actually didn't throw up right away. I fell asleep and I threw up when I woke up.
Really? I think so. I've told this story. I don't know if it's on this pod. If it has, you can cut me off. Over the summer, my mom was a teacher. She's retired now, but a couple summers she would work for the Rangers,
Okay.
and we would get. I've told you that we got all those cups,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
we got all like the Nomar Garcia, like just all the different
Garcia Parra,
yeah,
yeah.
like in Pud Rodriguez, like cups, just like all these cups. And what was I going to say? Well, my brothers would, find those cups, then we would wash them. Well, a couple of those cups had a bunch of just dip spin in them. And they brought me out to the garage one time, and they're like, "Hey, close your eyes." That's when you're in a good for a good surprise when your older brother always tells you to close your eyes when you're. So I closed my eyes, and they're like, "Okay, smell this," and it was just like dip spit, and it was disgusting. But then fast forward 10 years, 12 years, and I'm like doing the same thing. That was my first reaction. I didn't throw up, but I was like, "This is disgusting. That's so gross." And then one thing led to another. But I want to hear about. That's my New Year's resolution is to give up.
Okay.
Nicotine. First of all, it's just like it's a money waster. First of all, I remember. I mean, it's about the same price that it was. I mean, for a can of tobacco, but I mean, it was like $6. So it's like, when I was really into tobacco, I was going through a can a day, maybe a can and a half a day.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like $50, $60, $70 a week for something that I can take care of. And now, it's probably around that same price, maybe $5. But that's I'm not doing as much, but still, like, that's great to just be at first to just be saving money, but also like, I mean, it helps with blood pressure. Like when you have nicotine, it makes your blood pressure go up, all that kind of stuff. And both grandparents passed away from heart attacks, so that's like on the radar for me.
Yeah.
So that's something that I probably should have
Good
taken
deal,
care of.
man.
Kept up with like a long time. Well, I haven't finished it yet, so don't pat me on the back just.
Well, we're not patting you, but we believe in you, Kellen.
Yeah, thanks. Well, hold on. You know who we haven't talked to in a while? What does the audience think? All right. Okay. All right. Okay, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Do you feel the love? Do you feel the support?
Yeah.
Right on.
Sometimes I forget we're in front of a live studio audience.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think it's just
they've
me.
been minding themselves pretty well.
They have. We
staying seated.
They have been voted the most mindful audience of any podcast.
Yeah.
You can almost think that they're not here half the time.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And I forget about them because it's just me and you talking.
I get lost just talking. Yeah.
Yeah, just two buds on the couch. What is your New Year's resolution for this year?
Well, mine is it's actually there's two. It's
to love my girlfriend harder.
No. 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 One of them is to try to watch how I talk.
Okay.
A little bit.
You just talking about
just be a little bit more mindful of how
naughty words.
Just how I come across.
Gotcha.
I just say things.
Yeah.
And I don't always think
before you speak.
I'm like, what's going on in my head?
Yeah.
Like the delivery?
Yeah.
You know what could help with that?
Yeah.
Is if you
I should
did
count
stand up.
Yeah.
If you wrote down what you thought, like that would help be a little practice. And then I'll come watch you speak. Keep talking about it.
Dude, you just opened up that's
That'll
that's
help
what
you
I should do.
Write down what you want to say.
Things I want to say.
And then maybe that'll roll over into your actual life. Do you have a...
But yeah.
Is that one of them?
That was, yeah. The other one is just, it's kind of stupid, but it's just to take better care of myself. Like, go to the doctor.
You're still icing the knee.
Like, I'm stubborn a little bit.
Yeah. Most guys have trouble going to the doctor.
And I try to fix everything on my own or get advice online, and that's terrible advice.
Is funny because Tommy is, besides my girlfriend, is like the biggest hypochondriac that I think I know.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
dude!
Like he thinks everything's wrong with him.
I've had a lot of uncharacteristic things go wrong. Like doctors tell me, like, this is like, we don't usually see this in somebody so young. But I think I did so much hard living that my body's catching up.
Yeah, it has given up.
It's catching up still.
Yeah.
I've had, unfortunately, a lot of random things go wrong. But yeah, so then it leads your mind because you're like, well, this happened.
Do you think medical students in like 2050 are going to be sitting around a little gurney, and Tommy's naked old body is going to be there, and they're going to say, now this body right here is a mystery, and they just open it up and they just have all these little secrets inside, and then like,
I think they're gonna be able to solve something when I die.
oh, okay.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. It's some of them are just like out of my control. Some of the issues, but I should go to the doctor.
I don't. That's the thing is like I've been fortunate enough. I don't have anything that's like chronic, like something that I can't take care of yet. Does that make sense? Like there's not anything. It's like, okay, you have high blood pressure. It's like, okay, all you got to do for that is like stop drinking energy drinks.
Yeah.
Or stop doing this. And then I'll like, do that and I'll monitor it and then it'll be fine. I don't have anything yet where I've like crossed that line, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, now you have like,
well, see,
you're diabetic. You know
I started having prostate issues years ago. And it's stuff like that. It's like, it's not easily accessible on my own to take care of. Like, you got to
a finger up there.
Antibiotics or a finger.
If you need help,
Yeah. There's resources that are beyond me that I should seek. But you know what? Just in general, I think it would make those around me also a little happier if I was,
Is that true? He needs to take care of himself a little bit better?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a resolution that you're cracking open?
Yeah, what's your resolution be?
To love my boyfriend more.
Yeah.
No, probably to just eat better food at work. Like, make sure I pack a lunch rather than...
That's the toughest, honestly.
Snacking.
I've been trying to tell Lulu that we need to start doing meal prep. Oh, I don't know if I've told you this. I'm not a good cook. I mean, I'm an okay cook. I'm probably like, not on the Michelin scale at all. But if you were going to, like, I can, make eggs, all that kind of stuff, whatever. But every Thursday now...
Real chef.
Yeah, real chef. I'm just saying, like, I'm not out there, like, making gourmet meals or anything. But guess what?
My man can melt some cheese.
Yeah, I can melt some cheese, though. But lately, like, it's because she does a lot of the cooking, right? And we'll do a lot of fast food, too. And I'm just trying to do a sweet thing for her so she doesn't have to cook all the time. So I'm like, okay, hey, every Thursday, which that's only one day out of the week, so it's not like the biggest thing ever. But it's like every Thursday I'm going to cook for us. So I've been like...
That's good.
Yeah, so I've been like, making recipes or whatever. I've been using actually that Chat GPT. I'm like, hey, help me figure out a recipe for, chicken Alfredo with whatever. And then it'll just give me a shopping list. It's been helping me out. Didn't help us out the other week on the podcast, but it's,
That's pretty dope, actually.
Yeah. It gives you a shopping list, tells you the steps, how to make it, all that kind of stuff. I'm telling you. Guys, I know I don't want to toot its horn too much.
It had a few hiccups.
It did have some
just
hiccups.
Happened to have a hiccup when we were live.
Yeah, but it is.
It still
it's
works.
a game changer. But yeah, they loved it. Her daughter said it was just like it was from Cheesecake Factory, which I want to say is a high praise. I like Cheesecake Factory, but
so eat better at work, because we actually eat pretty okay.
Do you?
A lot better than we used to. Yeah. But
that's a good one for
Yeah, that is good. It's specific. I like it.
Have you all ever done the meal prep before, where you just cook on Sundays and you just get all your shit for the week?
I used to do that a lot in college, and then used to do that like when I first got an office job. It's so hard though because I get tired of it.
Yeah, you have the same meal every day.
Yeah.
I had some buddies that would do that. They'd all like meet together on Sunday and just like, and I had family and friends that did that too.
Yeah, I did that when I had a lot of roommates and stuff. We'd all kind of pitch in.
I'm trying to get her
pick
on
a day, we'd grill out and make a whole fun day out of it.
That's what I'm trying to get her to do, but she's like, I don't want to do that shit. I don't want to. She's like, I'm cooking already. I'm like, just once. We do it once. And then we put it all in like little Tupperware stuff. Then we can eat it for lunch. Then we can have some for dinner.
I think it's not a bad idea to look into doing that again. I'll tell you what, I used to live on $75 a week groceries.
Yeah.
So you can get a couple treats, but really it was like eggs, ground turkey, chicken breast, and it was really just core stuff. But yeah, I don't know. The leftover in the like 3 days out.
Yeah, you're starting to get sick of it.
that's where I'm like, all right.
Which is funny because, like, have you ever heard people be like, okay, what's the one place you'd eat for the rest of your life? If you had to eat, breakfast, lunch, dinner, what's the one place
One thing.
you know what I mean? Like, or when they'd be like, could you eat like, McDonald's for a year and get $1 million, or well, you know what I'm talking about? Have you ever had someone ask you
Yeah.
one of those questions?
Yeah.
I don't. Thinking about meal prep and doing the same, like you have to switch it up. You can't be doing chicken and broccoli and rice every week.
Your body actually will start to
Be
almost reject it after a while.
Have y'all seen that Netflix? I can't remember if it's a series or if it's just a documentary, but it's like what did they used to call it at McDonald's when you'd size up?
Super Size Me?
Yeah.
Super Size Me?
Yeah, have y'all seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah. He did it every day for like, what, a year?
A month or something.
I thought it was a year. Yeah.
I think it was a year. There was a guy that, there's another, his name's Doug Benson. Do you know who that is? He did one, almost the same premise, but it was called Super High Me.
Super High Me, yeah.
Yeah, and he was just stoned for a year. He already looks stoned 24/7. If you Google a picture of him, and then you're going to have to figure out if he's stoned or not. His eyes. He's got something with his eyes. It's like a disease. I think he said that, but I don't know if it's a bit or not. But he talks about like it's like the stoner eyes that you have, and they're red, and like he just can barely open his eyes. But he says it's like some type of like disease that he has. It might be a bit, but it might be true. But anyway, I watched that, and that one is even as disgusting as Super Size Me. Like, could you? I mean, now you're sober. I don't do any of that anymore either. What could you ever see yourself like 24/7? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say I couldn't. I have a different, I guess, brain mentality about.
Got me choking up over here.
But I don't think I could do that.
Just thinking about it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I did do that.
Well, I'm talking about
but the thing is like, you know how long the effects of something last.
Yeah.
So 24/7 loosely.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, yeah. And especially with certain things, if you're not doing it, you will get sick. So you.
Right. Well, I just mean.
Yeah, but like the state of mind and all of that.
Yeah. Could you be like stoned, like off like marijuana for a whole year? Like I would have to take a break. Like,
yeah.
I had homies that would be able to do that though. Like,
yeah,
I remember we'd wake up, like they'd toke up, whatever, and then like, oh, let's eat, but I'm gonna smoke
just
first.
Blast off.
And then it's like, oh, I gotta do some this, but let's smoke first or whatever. And it was just like, but I could never. I don't think I could do that.
Yeah, I think part of it is like also where you're at in life. Like,
sure,
I would not be able to hold down. I wouldn't be able to be profitable.
I had a buddy that he would study, like smoke and then study. Had straight A's throughout college. Like, just,
yeah. There's quite a bit of that. I feel like with weed, yeah, I mean, it's definitely like not out of reach for a lot of people. But 24/7 for a year, I don't think I would be a happy person.
Right. Last thing before I know, there's some resolutions that I saw that you were looking at earlier that were really funny, but Doug Benson, when he did this, and I'm sure I cannot remember the Super Size Me guy's name, but they weigh themselves and they do blood work to see how it's affected their body, and there was actually like some of the things that were coming back for him were like positive, and I can't remember.
Yeah.
Necessarily. I mean, obviously we know there's medicinal marijuana and it does a lot of good things for a lot of people. I mean, I'm pro medicinal marijuana, all that stuff. I'm sure you are too.
Yeah.
But I think like the one downside that it was like, wasn't making him sterile, but it was making him less fertile. And so their swimmers were kind of couldn't figure out which way to go. You know what I mean?
Makes sense. They were moving a little slower.
Yeah. They were just like, where am I? But anyway, I want to hear what, I mean,
Yeah, they
You got any
weren't as
thoughts on that?
motivated to
Yeah.
break through the.
Why not?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Do you have you want I want to hear about these resolutions because you were telling me about
Yeah,
one that
this
sounded
was.
funny. These are people that
These are just some random resolutions that are out there. One of them was, I will love myself as much as Lizzo loves herself.
yeah.
Which is kind of cliche. You see the hashtags and
It
jokes
used to be
about.
Kanye, but now
But this, yeah, this one though, this one stopped me from scrolling
okay.
because it really made me think like, wow, there legitimately are people out there that this is the top of their list. Is I will pick fewer internet fights.
Yeah.
Have you seen the thing that's like chronically online?
Oh man,
Dude,
It's just people that do that.
yeah,
and I know
a
the
bunch
people.
of keyboard warriors
Yeah.
that I think, like a drug,
Yeah.
get a little hooked on really trolling
Yeah.
and
I have a friend that
get off to that.
I have a friend who will remain nameless because that's how trolls are. And I don't know when this came out because he's never been, really a troll before in IRL. Like when we were growing up, he's one of my really
That's
good friends.
in real life.
Yeah, for all you not internet trolls out there. But he's just like, so I'll give you a little backstory, and I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast, and then
It's okay.
all right. He had a kid. He has an iRing, a doorbell, and he had a kid ding dong ditch him, and he caught it on the ringer or whatever iRing, and so he posted it to his like neighborhood
Next door.
next door, yeah, but on the Facebook one, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, and I helped him write we were on the phone or something. I was helping him because, first of all, if anybody knows this story, they know who this person is. They know this kid can't spell worth jack shit. So I'm helping him, proofread his troll. And it's like, kids these days, all that stuff, like they should be, I'm glad he's not playing on those Game Boys, but I have a baby asleep and all this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So he posts it to, I think, Facebook or something, one of the groups, and the dad sees it. And the dad gets real upset at his son and DMs the internet troll and says, "Hey, I'm really, and he goes, and then his dad apologizes on the iRing, and then he's got the video of him apologizing on the iRing, and my friend like backs down. He's like, "Oh, it's okay, it's all right. No, don't worry about it. No, but
Yeah.
like
And it was all recorded.
yeah, it's all online, but yeah, he sent it to me, but it's really funny. Like the kid goes up to like ring the doorbell, and the dad's like, "Nope, hold on 1 second." He's like, "Oh yeah, sorry, probably shouldn't do that again." And he's like, "Yeah," he's like, "Let me get up here."
A little gun shy.
But are there people that you see that you grew up with, or that are
that are trolls?
not even trolls?
Oh
but
no,
just,
I got trolls in my life.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're everywhere.
Yeah, but one of them is a guy I grew up with that again, I won't say his name either, but he's grown a lot of popularity.
In the troll community?
Well, yeah, locally and online. Now he's channeled it into his profession.
Okay.
Which works quite well for
That's
his
good.
profession and the nature of his business. So now it's like at a more commercial level.
Okay.
And it's funny. It drives people like our parents.
Can I have a guess at what his industry is?
Sure.
He would be very good if he was like, a brand marketer. Like, when someone like Walmart says something and then Target chirps back at him.
I love those.
Yeah, those are awesome. It's not anything close to that.
Okay.
I don't want to put him on bias.
All right, that's fine.
But yeah, so it's something that like our parents, if they saw it, they'd be like, "This kid is out of control."
No,
but our generation, like, it's the meme generation.
Yeah.
Like, it is
yeah.
like it's grown more and more that way.
Yeah.
So he's actually found a way to use his trolling talents for good.
Good.
which we love to see here.
Is he going after the older generations?
He's going after bad business and bad guys.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we'll put it that way.
What I was gonna say is, two things. One, and then I think we got to go to break. I've noticed, like, I've seen this meme all the time too. Is like people will say, like, the internet basically is done to our parents what they thought video games were gonna do to us. Like, they just they lose their minds over it. Like, over at least Facebook. And I don't know. I mean, my mom's done pretty well. Like, I was nervous when she got online, like, that she'd be more vocal, like my other friends' parents. She did. I told you, get into some argument over OU football.
Yeah.
You know, this was months ago, and I think she's learned from her mistakes. I don't know. Maybe that's her New Year's resolution, is to have less internet fights as well.
Yeah.
But, you know, I've noticed that most of the people that I'm friends with that are older kind of fall into that category where they're getting trolled, where they're getting hooked on that lure, and they're getting pulled. They're on, you know, fighting for their lives online. You know what I mean? And God bless you guys. Just, you know, in the new year, let's try to have less internet fights. But I enjoy it. I enjoy seeing one of my friends.
Let's keep it going. Let's fucking tell you what. We're gonna take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to dive into a couple more resolutions and a couple questions. We are back. We were talking about, you know, resolutions and some people's trolling, you know, resolutions to troll a little less.
Yeah.
I say
keep trolling.
Troll a little harder.
Yeah, troll on.
I just like seeing it. I like reading it. I like watching it. But it does get a little ridiculous. Somebody else's resolution was, I will be unashamed about the fact that I'm wearing pajamas in public.
Okay.
I really want to talk about this.
I do too. Are you talking about like the plaid pajamas, or like, you know, some Marvel superhero pajamas that you see out? Like,
yeah,
so many. I have noticed a lot of Gen Zers and younger, like, that's their bread and butter. They wear pajamas, and which is cool. I get it. I understand, but
yeah.
What happened to
the thing
you
is?
Get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like there's like the gas station run,
Sure,
which I'm all for. Just whatever, rock your flannel, get your bean dip, your Fritos, get your Red Bull, whatever you need.
Yeah,
maybe some nicotine.
Head back to not anymore.
But when I start seeing adults, like grown ass people, out and about during their day, instantly I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
I just, what I'm saying is, okay, most of the people that I see in pajamas are like PJs. We'll just call them PJs. No private jets here.
Not yet.
Not yet. They, it's usually the younger crowd, and it's like, I'm not kidding. They're the cool thing to wear now. Like, I mean, obviously you got the ripped jeans. Those are always, for a while, unripped jeans were back in, but now ripped jeans are back in. But I think now, honestly, the most hip thing to wear are PJs out in public, because that is what I see. I see the wolf haircut, and like the real, like, it's just, I see it everywhere. See it at the stores. I see it just like out and about. I couldn't, when I was a kid, no, we wouldn't. I don't think that was ever the case. I know you like to wear PJs. You know, I came over today.
I mean, yeah,
you wear some like disco pant looking. They're like
those were
flared.
Those were Christmas ones.
The legs are flared out. They're like bell bottoms.
Well, it's because I lost 20 pounds probably.
Okay,
I don't know.
They're huge.
Yeah, they're a little big on me now, but they are so comfy, dude. I'm a big fan of comfy pants.
Yeah,
around the house, definitely recommend investing in a pair or two. But like I don't wear those, if I'm going out to eat or somewhere.
Right.
No, I just
There's I'll go with sweatpants. Sweatpants are kind of like the gray sweatpants. The gray sweatpants I'll wear. Those are like.
See, that's like joggers. Like to me, is in the same vein. Mm-hmm. Sweatpants like that. That doesn't.
Yeah,
that doesn't bother me.
But that's not. It
doesn't bother me that much. But I have the same thought every time. I'm like you know.
That's what. But PJs are not the same level as. Joggers or sweatpants. They're.
But like, how often are you doing this? That's your New Year's resolution. It's like
every day.
Yeah, or if you weren't doing it at all and you want to do it, you can start.
Yeah, hit me with another one. I say you should probably be a little bit more ashamed of that. That's just my 2 cents. Now, if you want to just keep doing what you're doing, go for it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There was one that said, "I will finally catch and destroy that bird." So you might think your dog is barking at nothing. You may think your cat runs into the sliding glass door because he's a little dumb. What you don't know is that birds, they're taunting your pets. That's their story.
Birds are dickheads.
Dude, they fly into the windows pretty often here.
Yeah, they just can't figure them out for whatever reason.
You ever get a bird stuck in the house?
Yeah.
That's always fun.
Yeah, it makes you. Yeah, we used to have them come down the chimney quite a bit.
Yeah.
And they would like kind of live up there for a little bit, and and then one would fly down or whatever, and we'd go catch it and throw it shit out, and then it would come right back to it just was.
Oh yeah.
And also birds aren't real, so.
Yeah, that's a whole nother where it says simulation. This one, I do want to talk about. I will only eat the good candy from the bowl on the receptionist's desk.
It helps her figure out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say it helps her figure out what to put next time, right? Is that what you're getting at?
Well, no, I think but it's more so like when you are leaving a restaurant or you're at a receptionist's desk and they have a bowl of candy. I think a lot of people, Kellen, they don't want to take their time because they feel awkward about
Grab the hands and just.
So, no, they don't take a handful even. They just take the first one that gets in their little fingers. I've seen it, and I'm the opposite.
Yeah, you know who has the best, like restaurants, they always have a little bit of candy, or they have something. They might usually have mints or peppermints. Razzoos. Hands down, best Cajun food for y'all. What's the Razzoos? Best, like, those like different flavor, whatever, like sticks that they got there.
Yeah.
You can just throw in, and damn,
they're nice. They're nice.
I'll grab a couple handfuls and throw them in the pockets, and I'll go on the way in and on the way out.
Oh yeah,
2 each probably.
Rio Mambo has
they do too.
There's some,
I like Blue Gooses. They're like cinnamon
peppermints.
Those are good.
Fire.
But yeah, you're onto something also. So in my mind, it was people that just they don't want to pick out the good candy is what they're saying, so they just take whatever they can get. But yeah, you're also right. If you do take a handful, you're bound to get a lot of shit that you don't really want.
Sure, there's a lot of like black licorice in there.
It sounds like they're going to be taking their time.
You got one more? Or do you want to? You got a question that I was really itching to answer.
I want to get to the question we had from one of our listeners. Was
sure,
and it's actually such a good question that I remembered it. Was what's the craziest thing you've ever seen in public?
Do you want to go, or you?
I want to hear. I feel like you've seen some shit also. So
yeah, I've got a couple, but I'm gonna go with the one that it was wild, and I kept talking about it for days and days and days and days and days, and now I'm talking about it again. I was studying in college, pulling an all-nighter. I was lived in a second story, and my bedroom like overlooked a street, pretty busy street. And it was like probably 3 or 4 in the morning, right? So late, those stoner hours basically.
Yeah.
And I just hear this car like skirting around, like kind of hitting the horn here and there, but it sounded like it might have been on accident or whatever. And it was just like, and revving up and just like, just real sporadic.
Erratic, yeah.
Yeah, and so like I like looked out the window and this car is like, it looks like it's being controlled on remote control car by like some little like a 5-year-old like trying to drive a car for the first time.
Yeah.
And it stops, and this guy gets out, and he's screaming. He's like, "Fuck you, bitch! Fuck you, you son of a bitch! Fuck you!" And this lady is inside. Okay, and we will call her a lady of the night, possibly.
There you go.
And I go downstairs to see what's going on because I've, just something in me, I'm feeling like I got to be there. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if there's a domestic violence situation, what's going on. I go downstairs and go out the front door, and this dude, like, he's on something, right? It's Oklahoma, it's the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma. So we're thinking meth,
tweaking. Yeah.
He's tweaking, and he's screaming at this lady that's inside his car. He can't get back into his car. Like, she's locked him out. And he's like, she owes me, or no, he's like, she won't let me in. And through the window, she's like, he owes me $40. He owes me $40. And I was like, he's like, this bitch. And he goes, like, jumps in the back of his cabin in the truck, and he's hitting the window, like, just trying to, sorry, I hit him. Like, he's just like, fuck you. He's like trying to break
into it, baby boy.
And so then he jumps off, and he's like, she won't let me in the car. I'm like, and this jogger, first of all, who's jogging at 3 a.m?
Who are you?
Come on, go to bed. Like, you don't need to be doing that. He pulls up too, and I'm just kind of like, hey, I think I've got it under control. I was like, I'm just telling him, like.
So what, you went out there when you saw this?
Yeah, I was talking to these people. They're when they're saying this bitch won't let me in the car, they're talking to me.
You stepped into action. Okay.
Yeah, and so they're talking to me, and she's like, he owes me $40, like, through this, like, cracked window. Fuck him. Fuck this guy. He owes me $40. Like, and I'm like, hey, I'm a big, pro women. We love women here. Sorry, my mic's a little bit close to my face. And I'm like, hey, you can't be, he's like trying to hit her through the car and stuff like that. So I'm like pulling him off.
Yikes.
Then she jumps into the driver's seat, right? And somehow he gets the back window open. He jumps in the back of the car when she gets in the driver's seat. He either, like, kind of gets the, how some, there's a Toyota, like one of those old Toyota Tundra, not Tundra, but I can't remember what they are. The small Toyotas that you see trucks. And
a Tacoma?
Tacoma. Thank you. It was on the tip of my tongue. So picture that. 2-door, and he's got that window in the back that can slide open.
Yeah.
So he's got that open now, and he's trying to grab her hair, and I'm like trying to get him off. But I don't also want to be in this truck. So she hits the gas, boom. He's holding on for dear life, and she's like Tokyo drifts it around, and they're like sliding across this empty street and go straight into a tree, like head onto a tree. And she gets out and just ditches it, and he's just like, fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go back inside and study for whatever final I have. So that was one of the crazier things I've seen. Yeah.
That's
I got one more, and then you can, it's
how Cops was made. You got another one?
Yeah. Or let's go tennis.
Okay.
Let's go tennis. What do you got for me?
I don't know if any of our listeners ever watched oh gosh, it was on MTV. It was about the teen mom.
Yeah.
Teen mom.
16 and pregnant.
So I actually ended up living with he was pretty big on the show and off the show.
Baby daddy?
In the media a lot. No, it was actually the dad of one of the
that's what baby daddy means.
Kids. No, not the kid that had a kid. So he was the granddad.
Father.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We ended up living in the same halfway house at one point.
Okay.
And yeah, it was they call him Butch. I'll leave it at that.
Sweet.
This is his name. And he's been in just Google it. You'll see his picture. It was a crazy experience. Nice guy. We lived together, not by choice, but like grew to know. But he was I don't know that he was always fully sober. Who knows? But he started dating this lady with a deep deep bank account, deep wallet.
Okay.
She was divorced.
Attaboy Butch.
Her husband her ex-husband had made a lot of money in and around the Austin, Texas area.
Okay.
Tech stuff. They were divorced, so she was spending all this money on this guy I lived with. He'd come home with, I mean, hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of clothes and whatever. But yeah, then there was one day I got back into town. I had a show that was actually here. I drove back from that show. When I got home, he had a dog in a diaper, female dog, and he just running all over. This guy is probably whacked out of his mind at this point.
Right.
And he's got this truck, and he's got he'd started his own contracting deal. I don't know, with fences and stuff. It was all happened within a couple of days. But yeah, dude, the overall experience in of itself was pretty wild. But then was not long after that, all this stuff blew up on TMZ, the tabloids.
About him?
Yeah, and so dealing that was.
Did you ever get interviewed by one of those?
They came to the house.
Oh God.
Yeah, cameras and all, and.
Did you get your 15 minutes?
No, I didn't. I didn't even fill out the waiver. I was like, I don't want to be on this TV show. I've already been on National Geographic, so.
Showing your titties or what?
No, I was doing artwork in rehab one time.
Okay.
If you search the National Geographic, I am on an intervention show.
Nice.
But yeah, no, that shit was while watching this grown man chase his dog around in a diaper and
cameras
be whacked out with $200 jeans on and just fucking out of his mind. But that was a Tuesday, right? I've seen a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
But in my mind, it just made it even better that he was this MTV
Yeah, where are they now? Yeah.
Yeah. So that was kind of a wild living arrangement experience that I had. But the craziest I saved for my second story.
Cool. I didn't save one or the other, but I just remembered this one. I was younger. I was probably 8 or 9 or whatever. And they don't exist anymore, but you remember Radio Shacks?
Yeah.
My dad used to love Radio Shack. We would go in there and he would just buy random shit, and then he would just tinker it and put it together or whatever. Because they would I mean, I guess you can find some of it now, but at computer stores or whatever. But Radio Shack used to be kind of you could kind of build your own computers there too. And my dad's a big tech guy or whatever. And they also had music stuff in there too. They had keyboards, whatever. And I remember we were in there one time, and this dude comes in, and I just got even at 8 years old, I got a weird vibe from this guy. This is not a sexual predator story, okay? Just get your minds out of the gutter.
Okay.
But he had one of the things that tipped me off is he had a huge tattoo right here on his neck, and this is now that's cool, right? But back in the day, remember this was tattoos were still. People had them, but it was more of oh, those are bad people. Do you remember that?
It was more a stigma.
Yeah, there's more stigma to it, right? There's either more bikers or, maybe some felons or something like that. But, I mean, society's come around on tattoos. Well, this guy had a tattoo that said psycho right here on his neck. Mm. So it's kind of that's your first red flag. And, he had the Eminem haircut, dyed and all this kind of stuff. And so, his tattoo was kind of neon green. It was really easy to see, and he was kind of looking around, and he I'm looking at the keyboards, I'm just playing around with them, and the dude snatches one right next to me, I'm just playing chopsticks or something like that, and he just snatches it and just runs out the store, and the manager is quick on the draw, jumps over the swings over the counter, the Duke boys back in the day, jumps over the counter and rolls into his car and chases after this guy. And the guy, like, jumps into some minivan or whatever and drives off. And they're like flying around the parking lot. And I'm like, what is going on? And like 10 minutes later, yeah, this guy, the manager, for like probably a $500 keyboard, catches the guy and gets the keyboard back and like gets the guy arrested. I'm like, holy shit. Like, Radio Shack throws down. I didn't realize. And now they're out of business. And I'm sure it's because a lot of people were stealing keyboards. But I mean, that manager really saved the day that day. And that was really cool. I was like, holy shit, this is cool. I mean, I was like, that was the first crime I had ever seen in real life. It was really like mind opening. Now that doesn't exist. What are you Googling? Is that
so? I want to show you this guy.
That's exactly how I thought he looked.
That
Yeah.
So I realized after I told that story, it was not that crazy, but
it is.
If you were there, it was one of those situations. But
he looks like
he's
the character that I was thinking of when you told me it.
Yeah. This is wild. B, you got anything crazy you've seen? Craziest thing you've seen in public was what?
Oh, I got one more. And then we can just keep.
I really don't think I have one.
No, okay.
I really don't.
Nothing crazy.
I can't think of anything.
Man, I want to. What world are you in?
I've got
my world.
Your world. I will tell you this. And I don't want to always talk about all the crazy things.
Rehab.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. But the nature of people I was around for a lot of years in my life, I've seen a lot of things that I just like don't even seem real.
The shock value kind of wears off after a while.
So, but I was just jogging my memory a little bit, and there was a few things that happened along the way in my years of traveling around that really are hard to fit into this podcast, but we'll
sprinkle them here and there.
We're gonna sprinkle them, but the one that stands out was actually when I was using. I wasn't in rehab yet, and I was at a motel. I didn't notice till after, but like there are more arrests made on that property than many other. Like it
really?
is. I was in the thick of it, as the kids say.
Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods yet? That one?
And no, it was an experience of a lifetime for sure. I actually had a room upstairs. Another guy, one of my running buddies, had a room downstairs, and I probably told you this story before, maybe not, but the room next to me was a bunch of gangbangers. And
at the motel?
Yeah, and they were slinging some dope and whatever. Well, I was on my way back up. I'd met this guy. He gave me a knife. He was like, "You're gonna need it." I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, I'm just here to do drugs. Like, so he hands me a knife. He's smoking weed out of a toilet paper. I'm sorry, a toilet paper roll.
Okay, yeah.
He had made a device.
Yeah.
And
aluminum foil.
He's like telling me about all this stuff. I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like, whatever. Later that night, they were doing these like calls outside. I won't even try to imitate what they were doing.
Okay.
To other people in the parking lot, and there was these signals, all this stuff. Anyways, but they raided that shit right next to me, and I froze. I was outside smoking a cigarette on the balcony.
Did you hear something?
And all of a sudden, dude, it lit up like the 4th of July.
That's sick.
Was
there like a bunch of like
there was
flash grenades going off?
Yeah, it was wild. In the parking lot, they were throwing guys down. It was just the fact I was there.
Right.
It's a hard picture to paint.
Fly on the wall.
For the auditory purposes of this podcast, but that shit was wild. Being right there, like when it just exploded, was probably one of the craziest things that I've gotten to witness.
Were you nervous they were coming for you?
I did have things on me that I shouldn't.
Yeah.
Um, and I was just too blitzed to even realize, like, hey, maybe they might come in my room.
Yeah.
So
like the next door. Like, hey,
yeah,
let
but
us
it
in.
was all happening next door,
Damn.
and I was outside. So then I went back inside, and dude, I just sat there. They were there a long time. I think they had to take a couple people away and maybe a body. It was very wild.
I have. Yeah, we're going to take a break, but this story is very quick. This one is. I just was like, why am I where I'm at right now? Why did I choose where I'm at? So New Orleans, okay. Picture the scene. It's Mardi Gras. Actually, it's St. Patty's Day. I take that back. Okay. I'm there with a bunch of my friends, and right now it's just me and one of my best friends at the time, and we meet this guy. He's painted all green, like literally painted all green. Old guy, last month he was Santa Claus. So picture somebody like that, painted all green. Have barely any clothes on. And everybody knows who he is, right? Even with green paint on. And we go to the strip club with him, and he takes us in. He lets us, whatever. And we're like sitting there, and they're like, okay, next to the stage is Kyle. He's recently divorced, and these two girls bring this guy up on stage, and he's like all flirt. He's like, yeah, like give it up for Kyle. And they like, the song starts or whatever. And, one of the girls like has like a paddle or whatever. And the other girl's like taking his belt off, and they tie him to the strip pole. And then they just start beating the shit out of him.
Oh my God.
And it's like to just some like staying alive. And he's like, help, please God, help me. He's like falls down. Like he's up first, and like, they're doing like real cute, like whatever. They're like, giving him like a little pat. Then they just start going to town on him. And he like falls to his knees, and he's like, help me, help. And I'm like looking around like, is anybody going to help this guy? Where is security here? Like, and he's like screaming.
There's a common theme here, Kellen.
Yeah,
of you coming to the rescue.
But it was like this. Like people were excited, and they're like, "Yeah!" And he's like,
Let's
"Help
go,
me!
Kyle."
Help! Help me, please, God!" So don't get divorced in New Orleans. And it was just crazy. I just felt like I was like, "Why am I where I'm at right now?" But it was fun. Okay, we got to take a break.
We're gonna regroup.
Yeah.
We're gonna be back here in just a second. Appreciate you listening.
Yeah, thank you guys. Welcome back. We talked about some crazy things that we've seen. I want to get into some questions that we've been receiving. I'm just going to start off. This one's titled, "My girlfriend asked if I'm disappointed in her Christmas gift for me. I told her no, but I actually am." Okay. Have you ever been in that spot before where someone's like really excited to give you a gift? Somebody in a past relationship, or maybe parents, or somebody, that just is trying to get you a gift, and you were disappointed in the gift?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we kind of talked about that. I just remembered. Yeah, but yeah, no, definitely.
When the last ones I was talking about, like the tattoo Band-Aids, they were just phoning it in. They weren't like, "Aren't you excited for this?"
Yeah.
I'm saying like one where it's like, you missed the mark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But not of recent years.
Gotcha. Okay. It says, "I know this sounds pretty or petty, but it's not about the gift itself. It's the effort put into it. Earlier this month, we decided on rules for gifts for each other and set a limit of $100 for each other's gift. I bought her something really thoughtful and related to a field she's interested in for almost the full amount, and I was really excited about giving it to her. Today we had a Christmas with several family and friends and exchanged gifts. All the couples there had given their significant others really thoughtful gifts, and they just need
love.
They just need their love. Okay, yeah. When I gave my girlfriend hers, she teared up because of how much she loved it. Then it came to her gift for me. It was a generic couple's gift that you could see in the mall for like $20 to $30. Of course, I acted like I loved it, but I was honestly disappointed. As I said, it isn't about the money, but the effort. She knows so much about me, yet she gives me an effortless gift. Afterwards, she asked if I was disappointed and states she felt insecure with her gift after receiving hers and seeing all the other couples' gifts. I told her I wasn't because I didn't want her to upset her, and she's a very sensitive person, and I know she meant well, but I'll admit it bothers me. Is it worth hurting her feelings, admitting to my disappointment? So let's set the stage.
That's a lot to unpack.
Let's set the stage, okay? And maybe this will help y'all's future, okay?
We're doing pretty good.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we're good at gift giving.
Yeah, I think that you guys did some pretty good gifts. We talked about it last episode. I want to know, though, like, if you guys were getting $100 limit, right?
Okay.
And then you guys, at that point, usually it's got to be something thoughtful, right? Or something that's just like a gag gift, but it's usually going to be a thoughtful gift, right? So
there's a ratio. Like if you're gonna do the gag gift,
yeah,
then at least 50% of that has got to be like.
So
I'd say 75%.
So if let's say Tommy went all out, okay, not went all out, but got his $100, like 99, whatever, and he got you a thoughtful gift, right? He got you something, maybe had to do with Finch, whatever. Okay. Then you give him something that you find at one of the kiosks at the mall. Like, we've talked about it. Like when I gave my sister-in-law the gift of romance, I just went to a kiosk and just by accident, it happened to be something for a relationship, but you give him one of those. Well, first of all, my thing is that you getting that kind of gift, you already know that you kind of phoned it in, right? So do you think it added pressure on her that there was other people that, like, how would you throw that to her and say, like,
well, let's hear it.
Let's play it out.
Like,
I just gave you a $20 to $30 gift from the mall that I could have done in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Not much thought. And you got me really nice stuff for $100.
yeah, I would tell you.
She would. Yeah, she would.
I'd be like, are you kidding me? I spent a lot of time
Yeah.
like planning this out.
I think, I think if he's writing in and saying these kind of things, this is something he should have said to her.
He should tell her.
Especially if he thinks that what he said the last line.
His username is Tired Boy.
Yeah, he's just tired all the
Tired
time.
Boy J. He's just tired of the bullshit.
Yeah, I just think.
I'm not very passive.
Yeah.
I kind of tell people,
my thing is this. Go ahead.
You can do that. Listen, if you're not happy with the gifts you're receiving, you can help.
Yeah, point
next
him in the
year
right
you
direction.
can point them in a different direction.
Yeah. Just be a little bit more proactive about it and say like, hey, throw some hints in, whatever. I pretty laid back when it comes to getting gifts. Like, yeah, I'll talk shit about like, okay, tattoo bandit. I was 10, whatever. But there's gifts that I've gotten that I don't really like. It doesn't matter. Somebody getting me a gift now compared to when I was younger. Like, if somebody gives me a gift now, I'm gonna love it because they at least, even if they went to CVS or whatever and got a gift and then brought it to me, at least they were, for that 10 minutes, were like, hey, I'm going to get a gift.
Yeah.
That's how I am now.
It's you grow to that stage
but,
of like, it's all icing.
But if it's your significant other,
but yeah, that's
a little bit different, especially if you're like, okay, I got Lulu 3 gifts. I got her one that she really wanted, one that I didn't think that I knew that she wanted, but we hadn't really talked about. And then the third one was kind of like a thoughtful gift. Okay, so the last one was like that Legend of Zelda. Like, we are both gamers. I know she's a big Legend of Zelda fan. And she likes coffee. Like, I make her coffee every day, and like, give it to her. So now I'm gonna be able to give her coffee in this mug. So it's just like, it's a cheap. It was a cheap gift.
Sense.
It was under $50 or whatever.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah. So
no, like I wasn't being rude.
Yeah.
We actually did talk about that.
Oh, how
about
you guys
like,
get
well,
gifts?
it's good to get like useful things. Like,
Yeah. Like I got her a coffee maker for her birthday, and then she gave me a blender one time for like, And I know that sounds weird, but I needed a blender. So it's like,
Yeah.
there's things that like, oh, I appreciate. And she gave me like, the Ninja one or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
So it's like, it's good to be
No,
getting
I like
those-
that. That's good.
Yeah. But when you go for thoughtful, right? That could look like a lot of different things. You're not sitting there like having to like create something. Like you can just take the extra time to create it. And if it's like you said, just a generic $20 to $30 gift, that stings a little bit, especially when everybody else has kind of gotten the memo. It's like a black tie affair and you're wearing white. You know what I mean?
Dude, the best thing ever is, well, B already did this and then it kind of got integrated into our family, but is the Amazon like list.
Yeah.
So like it makes life easier. So
What do you mean?
this would not happen.
So like when he wants something, you add it to the list.
Well, for Christmas,
For Christmas, I made a Amazon wish list,
Okay.
and then you can invite people to it to like collaborate, and when they buy something off of it, it removes the item.
Gotcha.
So that's the thing.
But they know.
You can't go look at your own
Yeah,
list.
Well, you can go
after
look.
you make it. Like
It removes it, and then it shows like when something's bought, but you have to click like spoil my surprise to see what it is. I didn't do that. I was proud of myself.
Good.
Yeah, no,
That's a lot of power to have.
But like, it could be tough. Like, but if you're spending $100,
I don't.
and you only spend
Yeah.
20 to 30 of the $100,
That's not even half.
dude, if you're in a tight spot, you just tell her. Like,
The other thing is like, yeah. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. But I would, yeah, I'm
just
completely
thinking
lost.
about all the gifts.
all the gifts that I've needed to return. Yeah. If you're phoning it in to your significant other, okay, I remember what I was gonna say. Not at the party. You don't tell her at the party. You still act like you're excited at the party. But then when she asks you straight up and she says, "Hey, I
Do you
feel
like
a little
it?
insecure,"
Do you like it?
be like, "Hey, be like, I do like it. Like, I mean, I like, I really did like it, but I do feel like I put more effort into it than you did, and that makes me feel a little disappointed." That's what I would say.
Yeah, that's the.
I mean, maybe you guys get into a fight, but whatever.
Yeah, no. When you, dude, I learned this a long time ago. Is if you say when you blank, I feel.
Oh yeah,
They teach you that in therapy.
oh
yeah,
yeah.
in therapy.
Yeah.
All right, you want to hit us with the next one?
Yeah. So this one says, "We are 14 years apart, and I'm falling for him.
Okay.
What are some red flags I need to keep an eye out for?"
Okay, for the listeners,
And
it's a 23-year-old
yeah,
female compared to a 37-year-old male. That's a big.
So
that's
and
14
they've been
years,
seeing each other for 2 months. She says she can feel herself falling for him.
Okay.
She says she sort of judged people in age gap relationships, and never dated someone more than 3 years older than herself. But now that she's in a relationship herself in this situation, she's starting to see things differently. They're both software engineers.
Okay.
They're on adjacent teams at work. He has dated women of all ages. He's serious, or his serious relationships are typically around his age.
Okay.
And they were the last two left at a work happy hour one night.
Ooh.
She made a move on him.
Ooh.
They ended up chatting and kissing for hours. And it sounds like quite a whirlwind romance, Kellen.
Huh? Does she see any red flags right now?
So that's the thing. She said they share family values, stability, healthy work-life balance, seem to be compatible.
Okay.
She's enamored with him at the moment, having trouble finding the pitfalls and red flags. She asks us, what are some potential problems I should be looking out for in this relationship? Are age gap relationships always bad, or can there be exceptions?
Okay, so he's the older one. I would say this. If he is so usually in this situation, like if it's somebody who's younger, I will say, I'm going to give red flags for both, okay? So if you're at home and you're dating somebody that's younger, maturity is a big one, right? If you're not on the same maturity level, it doesn't even matter. If you're both immature, hey, I mean, that works for both of you.
Yeah.
So if he has your maturity level. You're 23, right? I mean, that's honestly, if you guys are both at that situation, maybe you're mature for your age. Okay, that's fine. You guys are both in the same level. What I would say a red flag is if he has a lower, if he's more immature than you are, first of all. But secondly, I would say a red flag is if he uses age against you. As in, like, if he's saying stuff like, oh, well, you're not old enough to understand, like, you haven't gotten there in your life yet, or you're like just putting like gatekeeping things from you because he's just like, oh, like
You wouldn't understand.
you wouldn't understand, or like, whatever. Because it's like, if you're starting a relationship or if you're partners together, like you're on the same level. You shouldn't be holding, like, that's like it's kind of a trump card, if that makes sense. Like in a relationship, it's like, well, I know better because I've been, I'm 14 years older than you.
I see B leaning in on that mic.
Tommy's 5 years older than me.
Ooh.
And when we first started dating, we would run into
Some age stuff.
disagreements because sometimes Tommy felt like he knew a little bit more than me, and
Well,
he did. But
We've talked about the two towers a lot on
you
the
just have to
podcast, and
sit down
It's
with your partner
Yeah.
and just talk about it.
Yeah.
Talk about if it's a super serious relationship, you have to talk about kids because you guys are old or not the same age. You have to talk about your previous living experiences to know each other's maturity level.
Yeah, it's all life experience related. Right. I don't think it's necessarily an age thing. It's more of life experience, like that can. Yeah. But when you add age into that, obviously, typically there's just a little bit less of there's a learning curve there.
Yeah, and it's fun to teach. There's a difference between flirting, obviously when you guys were starting out, he probably made some jokes, about your age comparative, and you probably called him old and,
I did, yeah.
stuff like that. And it's like,
she's still
flirting.
Does. Yeah.
But there, but if you use it in an argument, you know what I mean? In a real argument, you're not it's fun to, like I was saying this, we talk about the Twin Towers a lot, where we were, right? You probably don't even remember.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Whatever.
I was in kindergarten.
Okay. But so
there's but I find typically people in those relationships, like you mentioned, kids. I know a lot of people that are older that don't want kids. So it's there are certain elements of those relationships sometimes that
that's a big
or
one.
they already have kids, and so it's just
I didn't hear anything about that in that one. But
I know a red flag that the person should look out for is that it's it's a relationship, not a romantic relationship, not almost like a caregiver.
Yeah, sugar daddy kind of thing.
You got to be on equal playing field.
That's what I was saying. Yeah. It's more of a partnership.
Because otherwise it's easy to leverage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even in when you're in fights or something like that. That's what I was trying to say. The ultimate trump card. You can be well, you don't understand this situation.
Yeah.
Because you're 14 years younger than me. If he starts doing stuff like that, that's it's. There's no compromise.
Yeah, you don't know much, do you?
Yeah, this boy ain't right. But yeah, I would say that's the biggest red flag. Anything else under that, if he's got skeletons in his closet?
Dude, the other thing is you really have to look at you got to think long term, because what's the age difference? 14 years.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, add another 20 years to that relationship, it's going to be drastically different. When I guess what I'm saying is, especially once you start hitting some older ages,
health differences,
you develop, more issues.
I don't know this.
And your lifestyle can change,
Yeah, you might want to okay, she's in her early 20s.
But dude, they're IT developers or something.
Yeah, they're on the same wavelength.
They're probably good. They're probably going to sit around
they're probably fine.
Yeah.
Talk about
code or whatever the fuck
software development.
Whatever y'all talk about.
Yeah, while you're eating your tacos. That's what you're talking about. Dude, I don't know.
That's the only red flag. Honestly, I think if you're worried about age, just using age in fights, that's really it. I mean, other than if he's got a doll made out of your hair, that's a red flag.
Yeah, we wish you all the luck.
I like this one. It hits home for me because the present that they're talking about, I have given to my girlfriend. So I would like to read this one. It says, "Am I the asshole for giving my wife's Christmas present to my sister? I'm 44 and my wife is 39 and my sister is 39. I will try to keep it short and sweet." Okay, good. My sister is back with us at the moment and has been living with us since October because of an ongoing divorce with her husband. Okay. My wife was not a fan of this and wanted my sister out and told me to give her our other accommodations, which we own, to my sister while she settles her divorce. Okay, whatever. Since the start of the year, my wife has been wanting a Dyson Air thing for hair. It's
Oh,
called a,
Kelly.
yes, sir. I don't get the excitement. That's in parentheses. I do. Trust me. Anytime I talk to a girl about it, like they all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Remember they were like, yeah, we know what it is.
Yeah, we know what the fuck it is, you stupid
Jesus.
boy.
God.
And yes, I bought her the gift in November for Christmas, and I wrapped it and put it in our garage. A few days ago, my sister was wrapping gifts for Christmas and asked me what I got for my wife, and I told her it's a Dyson hair product and a Gucci perfume, around $700 in total. My sister, it's way more than that, by the way. My sister, the air wrap itself is like $500.
No, that was 700
Oh, I got
euros.
you. I got you. Yeah.
Looks
My
like.
sister got excited for my wife, but sad again. Said she wanted a Dyson Air product to be used. Begged her husband to buy it for her. Never did. Apparently, her gift. Okay, so I'm guessing she went ahead and gave her that. And yesterday, I gave everyone their gift, and everyone was happy until my mom told me that she saw my wife's face during the gift giving. My wife looked hurt. Apparently, asked why, and I didn't give my wife the Dyson instead. Yeah. Yeah, you need.
That's weird.
That is weird.
Yeah, I said.
Are you sure that's your sister or
Yeah.
your
He said
girlfriend?
I told my mom the truth, and my mother is calling me an asshole. My parents wanted to buy my wife Dyson hair for Christmas, but asked me before they bought it, so I told them I was gonna buy it.
Wow.
So they thought I'd actually give it to my wife and not change the plan.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. I will.
That's weird.
Okay, here's what happened one time to me. Ready? I was in second, third grade, one of those grades. Okay, we were supposed to go to my cousin's birthday, and my mom and dad bought her like this jewelry or whatever. We ended up not getting to go, so we have this like, necklace that's just for a girl, like a 10-year-old girl that's just sitting around her house. Well, lo and behold, next weekend I go to like a roller rink party. It's for a girl. Okay, did I have a crush on her? Yeah, probably I did. My parents were like, "Hey, why don't you just go ahead and get her that gift?" Everybody else is getting her like, whatever, 10-year-old stuff. But then I got her this necklace that was supposed to be for my niece or for my cousin, and it blew up in my face because I didn't know what it was. They were just like, they got the gift for him, right? And then it gives out to it. Never give somebody else a gift that was supposed to be for somebody else. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because it always will blow up in your face, especially in this situation. Dyson Air Wrap, that's a hot commodity. I remember when I was trying to get it for Lulu. I don't remember when I was trying to get it for. Maybe I think it was for Valentine's or for her birthday. They were sold out everywhere. They were sold out everywhere.
I think it was her birthday.
Yeah.
Right?
It might have been.
Maybe
No,
so.
No, it was
I don't know.
Valentine's
it was
Day.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
They were sold out everywhere. And like to think, and so it's a hot commodity, okay? If it's something that you have like discussed with them and then somebody else gets it, like your sister, you should have just gotten your sister something else.
Yeah.
Been like, "Hey, I'm sorry, this is for my wife, but I'm sure she'll let you use it."
Yeah.
Maybe. You know what I mean? We have, I'll tell you this.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Is once you're in a relationship like that, dude, I don't know. It's
She
like,
also didn't want
you
the
can't-
sister living there to begin with.
Yeah, but you can't. You have to put your significant other
Right.
as the priority.
Right.
Like, yeah, that's
She's
what it
putting
boils
too
down
much.
to.
Exactly. He let the sister live there. She's up for that, I guess. She didn't seem like she doesn't like it. But you this is the second strike for you, putting your, sister up on a platform that should be for your wife, right?
Yeah, like if I spent more on my brother than my girlfriend, like that would be. You see what I'm saying? Like that would be weird.
I don't even see you doing
The
that.
only exception to that is if it's a younger, like significantly younger. Like we probably spent a little bit
Oh,
more on
yeah,
my
if
little
they're like-
sister. than
yeah.
each other.
Sure.
Yeah.
And she's going through like
But
that
she's
time in her
high
life,
school,
right?
You know?
That time, and she's got like a
You
lot of
know?
more things coming up that you're going to be proud of her for. So like graduation, that kind of stuff. So yeah,
yeah.
hey buddy, you need to take a look in the mirror because one of these nights you're going to come home and you're going to think your wife is there. It's going to be your sister. So just relax, okay? Just take a
You
step back.
Set some boundaries.
Set some boundaries. Yeah, that's I would say you messed up, right?
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be a tough one to come back from. You probably gonna be called an asshole.
Yeah, I mean your
there's no
parents
way
already
around
did
it.
apparently.
Kellen, when's the last time somebody called you an asshole?
I'm a pretty nice guy. I don't really get called an asshole very often.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think
Damn.
I ever actually
Dude,
have
it's been
called
like
one.
a day for me.
Really.
Uh,
Actually, like in fights maybe, but
I'm kidding.
Not in like a super aggressive
I'm
way.
kidding. I'm kidding.
I don't. Yeah, like I said, I don't.
I'm not kidding. I'm not
We go a little Jersey on each other. Sometimes.
Yeah, I
Dude.
feel it.
Dude, oh yeah. It's yeah.
Wait, can I just tell
Yeah,
them
why
about,
don't you? I'm holding it in.
Okay, so this is a throwback to Christmas.
Oh, do I need to find out if he's the asshole?
Yes.
All
so
Let's do it.
Yeah.
that look, Tommy. We were leaving to go.
It was 6 and 7 in the morning.
Yeah, and we were leaving to go. I don't even know. Oh, we were going on
It
Christmas.
was Christmas
morning.
Day. Yeah.
Okay.
So we were leaving at like 7 in the morning. Tommy is hobbling around, right?
You're right.
Because of his knee.
Meniscus. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Hypochondria.
not fun.
And so I have
I'm
been,
not a hyper dude.
Whatever.
Yes,
I
you are.
can't walk.
I was taking Fincher out because like it's just Tommy has to
Yeah.
walk slowly down the stairs. And so like I took Fincher out, I fed him, whatever, was hanging out with him. I got ready. I loaded the car with the gifts because I did not want Tommy to carry anything and then fall because that would just be the cherry on top and we wouldn't get to like have a great Christmas.
I mean, yeah. I really
like it
can't
really
walk.
was that bad.
Yeah.
Okay. And then.
And then I needed to let Fincher out again, and there was just like a lot going on. And Tommy I don't even remember what he was doing, but he was just making the situation harder and asking like a lot of questions. And I had to let Fincher out again and then put him up in the crate. And then we needed to leave like immediately.
We're getting her side
Okay.
first.
Yeah. And so
Sure.
we're walking out the door, and he like asked me a question with like super attitude.
Ooh.
And I was like, from this door to the car door, you need to find a new attitude.
Uh-huh.
And I said, no, I don't.
And I said that he was being an asshole. And then we
She
get to
said,
the car.
She said, you can stay your ass here.
Hell yeah.
Because he's being sassy. And I was
Wow.
just like,
When she gets pissed, her country really comes out too.
Same with
I had
you.
done like a lot. And I was just like ready to hit the road.
Yeah.
It's like,
And I was just like
jeez.
tired.
Over it.
I was
Alright,
like,
so what's-
relax. Take a breath.
And
It's
yeah,
fine.
We turned on some Christmas music and it was fine.
I started laughing. She
Me
started
too.
laughing. We always start laughing at each other when we get mad.
Yeah, it's hard to be mad.
So here's what actually happened was,
Actually happened. Listen
Here
to
we
him.
go.
no, I'm kidding. That's probably what happened. But like I just didn't know, like, you know, we
I
were
would
supposed to
just-
have already left like 30 minutes before then.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, like, we probably
It's
probably need to
early.
go. Like, I didn't know what she was doing because
Yeah.
she went back up the stairs, and I was like, hey,
That's what the question was.
I said, what are you doing?
Mm.
And I was like,
Dude, you know. So
Tommy?
the same thing happened last night when I asked, dude, hey, fellas, just don't ask what they're doing. Like, when you're in a hurry and you're like, hey, what are you doing? Like, just, I've recently learned.
Don't ask what they're doing. Ask how they're doing.
yeah.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck are you
Advice
doing?
from Kellen King.
Hey, how are you doing up there?
Yeah, exactly. It's the you can change a word and it'll change your life. Listen, I even when I'm genuinely trying to help, sometimes I'll ask her like, "Hey, can I? You know what?" So she was like, "This whole thing about don't ask, just do it."
Yeah.
So
Dude, I have that problem too.
yeah, but I don't know how she feels about it. Do you want? You know,
It's like-
I can make decisions for you, but I
Like-
don't know if you're gonna like them.
It's like when
Yeah.
your significant other gets up from the couch to go do something, and the other significant other is still, your significant other is still sitting there,
Yeah.
and they ask like, "Oh, do you want me to get your water for you? Do you want me to let the dog out?" And it's like, "Well, I'm already up."
Yeah. Well, Lulu's very like, how do I explain this? She's a perfectionist. Like, if she's doing something, it's
Yeah.
done the right way. So when I try to do stuff for her, a lot of the times it's not up to her standards, or it's not the way
Exactly.
she wanted it.
I
Yes.
relate to
Like
her.
laundry.
And I'm a
yeah.
real like, I try to be at the beginning, and now I'm getting to the point now where I'm getting back to it. But there was a while where I was having a hard time like doing things for her, because every time I would, I'd get some backlash.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now it's like, that's why I'm doing one of the things I'm like, all right, I'm going to cook every Thursday. Remember, I think that was like last episode I was talking about.
I'm
what
going to cook every Thursday.
Yeah. So I've been, cooking every night, whatever. So when you're hearing this, just know I'm going to be just going at it tonight at the cooking.
That post hump day, baby.
Yeah, baby.
That post hump day cooking.
All right. And with that, we got to wrap up. We got to get
That's
home.
right.
I got to get some recipes. This time I'm just fumbling around for, all the ingredients. So
There you
just know
go.
that. Yeah.
There you go.
This has been the Post Hump Day podcast. My name is Kellen King.
I'm Tommy DeSalt. We appreciate you. Thank you for sticking with us, and we'll see you next week.